Okay, so have you ever felt the actual tectonic plates of an entire financial ecosystem shifting right beneath your feet? Because that's kind of what we're looking at today. Welcome to today's Explainer, where we're going to unpack what is absolutely, without a doubt, the most highly anticipated milestone in modern Indian finance, the upcoming NSE IPO. For a long time now, industry insiders, everyday investors, pretty much everyone has been keeping a super close watch, just sensing that a massive moment is about to drop. But look, this explainer isn't just about a company going public to raise some capital. Our main focus today is diving into exactly why the NSE IPO changes markets entirely.
So let's just start with the most obvious question, right? Why is the market waiting with bated breath? Obviously, people have invested at the early stages, and there is a ridiculous amount of buzz going around. But to really get this, we kind of have to look past the hype of just a single stock listing. When a business of this sheer magnitude finally lists, what does it actually mean for the broader market? What's the signal it sends to the whole financial ecosystem? Well, as you're going to see, it represents a massive, undeniable economic shift. It literally resets how we value the very infrastructure of trading itself.
Now, we often casually call the National Stock Exchange, the NSE, a monopoly, just because of its totally towering scale. But strictly speaking, it operates in a duopoly alongside the BSE, just two major players running the show. But honestly, make no mistake, even in that duopoly, the NSE is widely considered the absolute crown jewel of the capital markets. It is the undeniable leader. It sits right at the very top of this financial structure, commanding the lion's share of volume, and frankly, dictating the pace of the market itself.
Moving into Section 1, a global tech powerhouse, the machine driving India's trades.
It's funny, we often think of the NSE purely as this financial entity, right? Like a traditional place where money just changes hands. But its true valuation and the core reason why its IPO fundamentally changes the market is actually built on unparalleled, world-class technological innovation. We've got this incredibly telling insight from veteran market expert Ramdeo Agrawal. Now, he's been a member of the NSE since literally day one, back in 1994, so he's watched it grow from the ground up. And he notes, "I don't think there is a machine like NSE in the entire world processing transactions with such efficiency, defect-free." I mean, just think about that for a second. Completely defect-free. When you consider the sheer astronomical volume of daily transactions in India right now, we're talking millions of orders, a massive influx of retail and institutional capital. A single glitch could ripple through the whole economy. But this machine, it handles it flawlessly. So this IPO isn't just pricing a broker or an exchange, we're fundamentally pricing a piece of world-class, globally unique tech infrastructure.
All right, on to Section 2, India's capital market boom. From humble beginnings to mega-cap giants.
To really wrap our heads around why this IPO is such a monumental event, we have to zoom out and look at the explosive growth of the broader Indian capital market over recent years. See, the NSE isn't operating in a vacuum. It's the engine of this rapidly expanding universe. Just 4 or 5 years ago, the capital market was barely a fraction of what it is today. To give you a concrete example, just a few years back, the BSE's market capitalization was sitting at a mere 8 to 10 crore, maybe even less. And today, that market cap has skyrocketed to an astonishing 1 to 1.5 lakh crore. It's wild. We are witnessing exponential, almost unprecedented growth in such an incredibly compressed time frame, and it's completely redrawing the boundaries of what's even possible in this space.
And this exponential growth, it is not an isolated incident. We are basically watching an entire industry of mega entities being born simultaneously. As our sources break it down, there are now 5 or 6 distinct entities that boast a market cap of over 1 lakh crore. I mean, you've got the NSE itself, the BSE, massive mutual fund titans like HDFC Mutual Fund and ICICI Mutual Fund, SBI, and even a top broker joining the super elite club. So what we're looking at is a profound deepening and widening of the market, transforming what used to be kind of niche financial services into these sprawling, dominant corporate empires.
Which leads us directly to this completely staggering figure, 20 lakh crore. When you take all these massive companies, all these newly minted financial titans operating together, you are looking at a projected direct total industry market cap of 20 lakh crore. I really want you to let that unbelievable scale sink in for a moment. 20 lakh crore. So when an entity like the NSE, which remember acts as the absolute crown jewel and the flawless technological backbone of this entire 20 lakh crore ecosystem, when it finally goes public, it naturally redefines the gravity of the entire market. It establishes a totally new benchmark for valuation, for liquidity, and for global prestige.
Section 3. The next 25 years. the dawn of India's financialization.
So, we've established the monumental scale of the market today, but the macroeconomic outlook is what truly matters if we want to understand the implications of this upcoming IPO. What we're witnessing right now is rapid financialization. And if you're wondering what that means, it's basically the increasing dominance of financial markets, motives, and institutions in the everyday operation of the economy. The economy is fundamentally shifting. It's becoming deeply, structurally integrated with these financial systems. And that massive 20 lakh crore ecosystem we just talked about, well, according to market veterans, that is literally merely the starting line for a much, much larger transformation.
Because, as the experts note, the explosive growth we're all marveling at today, it's really just the result of a 5-year journey. Think about that. Everything we just discussed, the crazy leap from 10 crore to over a lakh crore, the birth of all these massive mega entities, the creation of this world-class defect-free technological machine, it is all crystallized in just the last half-decade. And actually, this is exactly why the NSE IPO changes markets entirely. It represents the ultimate formalization of this rapid 5-year explosion in wealth and infrastructure. It's basically the market publicly validating that this structural shift is permanent, and that honestly, we're still just at the very beginning.
So I want to leave you with this really provocative thought, kind of echoing the exact question raised by market veterans. If this sheer scale of growth, of innovation, and financialization was achieved in a mere 5-year journey, what in the world will the next 20 to 25 years look like? Just try to imagine the sheer scale, depth, and global influence of this ecosystem decades from now. It's mind-boggling.
Now, as always, and as noted in our source material, please remember that investments in the securities market are subject to market risks, and you definitely need to read all related documents carefully before investing. But as you do your research and navigate the markets, keep that bigger picture in mind. The NSE IPO isn't just a simple market listing, you guys. It is the gateway to a massive unfolding future. If this was just the first 5 years, what will the landscape look like 2 decades from now? Thanks so much for joining this explainer, and